I just cannot believe, guys, that it's so dark. You know, it does not make any sense. I have to get a light so that when I speak to you guys, it shows, but it's so dark. So dark. I don't know where to get the light. It's the weather today is very rainy, and it's just a lot of rain today. Just raining like crazy. Hi, Dylan. Hi, Kenny. I'm sorry it's dark. You guys can't see me. It's raining and dark. I'm in a parking lot. It's only 5:30 p.m., Eastern Standard Time. That's it. It's only 5:30. This is ridiculous. I cannot deal with this dark. This dark is just not right for it to be dark at 5:30 p.m. So the universe is telling us that we need to go to bed pretty much. Like it's time for bed on the East Coast. I don't know where are you guys located currently because this is crazy. I feel like that's why people get seasonal depression because it's so dark. It's unreal. You know, this happens every year, but it's still very shocking to me. It's very shocking that, as soon as the fall hits or the winter hits, that it just switches. They need to stop this. I don't want daylight savings. I don't, this is okay. So we're not on daylight savings anymore, but I don't like this time. Why do they do it? What's the meaning behind it? You know? What's the meaning behind it? Makes no sense. I'm sorry you guys can't see me. You know? It's so dark. We will go find somewhere where it's a lot of light so that you guys can see me talk. I'll find somewhere with the lights because this is too dark. I have such a major problem with backing up. I think I found somewhere with a light. So here it is. Maybe this will help. I just switched where I was parked. Ugh, it's rainy and wet tonight. Rainy and wet. Ugh. And gets dark early. So pretty much if you have families, you have to be home with your family. And you pretty much have to... Okay, let me fix my car. I am such a bad parker. I park like a girl. I drive and park like a girl. That's why I failed my license test because I could not back up and I still hate backing up. I've had my driver's license for so long and I still have not perfected backing into a parking space. Even with the back camera, still not good. I have a major problem with backing up into parking spaces. It's just not for me. you know? I prefer to just drive in or even parallel parking. I don't like parallel parking. That's why I love my state where I live in, because we don't have to do that. I don't understand why we had to practice, because we have parking spaces where we can just drive in. If I go somewhere and there's a bad parking where I have to struggle to park, then I will leave, because I have a issue with parallel parking and I have an issue with backing up. I just need to drive straight into the lot. That's it, into the space. Drive straight in to the space. So pretty much, you know, drive straight in. Okay, I'm sorry about the lighting, but I'm in a car waiting as per usual, in my car. So, how are you guys doing on this beautiful? Well, here it's rainy. So, what are you guys doing on this beautiful Monday evening? It's about 5:40 here, 5:40 Eastern time. It's dark, it's rainy. It's just a lot of rain. We have a lot of rain today. But the good thing, I'm only out of the house for about maybe 1 hour, not too long, So we have duties in the week, like take our kids to tutoring. So that's pretty much what I'm doing now, taking my child to tutoring and just waiting. Now, I understand why some parents don't bother with kids. Like, kids are so defiant when it comes to learning. Most kids, they don't like learning like the regular public school or math, English, language arts. I think most kids in these times, they need technical. They need to have a learning on the computers. I'm sure they do, but my one of my friends' kids, they're taking programming, and I think they should incorporate that in every school, because these kids in 2025, what do they call them? The Gen Z kids? Gen Z, they're so intelligent. They are so advanced, and I think that's why a lot of them get bored in school, and they don't like the schoolwork because it's too easy for them. It's boring. So they need more interactive work. They need more interactive things to do. So the Gen Z, I think regular school is just not for them. It's not like they're not like kids in the 90s or in the early 2000s. They need uh a more interactive learning. So that's how I feel, you know. So guys, we're close to Veterans Day. If you're a veteran, well, I'll come on and talk to you guys tomorrow on Veterans Day. I do have veterans in my family, but some people have work and some don't. I don't have work for Veterans Day, which is so good. So I get to have the day off tomorrow. Um, which is wonderful to have the day off midweek. It's good. So I wanted to address the females who are taking injections or taking Ozempic or doing things to lose weight instead of eating. You know, when you do things like dramatically or fast with weight loss, your skin will become soggy. Your skin will become elastic. So be careful. I'm not knocking anyone for getting weight loss injection, but I think people look at celebrities and they look at social media and they feel like everyone needs to be skinny. Like, you need to compare yourself to what others are doing. So the celebrities are all getting like super thin. So I know people in the real world who are getting injections, who are getting pills just to lose weight. And to me, that's very unhealthy. Um, It's very unhealthy. Thank you so much, Butch. Thank you. It's very unhealthy to get injections for weight loss, get pills. You have to read the side effects because you can lose weight today, but then later on something is wrong with one of your organs because you inject this weight loss. I've had friends who they had black. I had friends who they had their, okay, let me zoom in. They had their, what is it? Their gallbladder taken out because of the weight loss injection. A lot of women I know, about 4 or 5, are getting their gallbladder removed. So you guys have to be careful when you do these things. There's very much natural ways of losing weight. You can walk about 10,000 steps per day. If you're intentional about losing weight, you can definitely lose it the natural way. It's your mind telling you that you can't. It's a mental thing. And in life, everything doesn't happen overnight. It's called patience. Have patience with your weight loss journey. Stay consistent, eat. And I'm talking to myself as well. Stay consistent, eat, walk, do whatever you can, but stay away from those pills. A lot of people are having too many health issues based on these weight loss injections. And how do you guys feel like Serena Williams, a major tennis player, she's endorsing a weight loss injection? She's an athlete. You wouldn't think an athlete would endorse an injection. She would tell people to go work out or go, get hit the gym, but she's endorsing a weight loss injection. Serena Williams. I think and then her husband is also, he's doing a athlete track league. So that does not make sense to me. How does that go hand in hand? Weight loss injection and athlete. It doesn't make sense. If you're an athlete, you have to work out. If you're an athlete and you're endorsing a drug, what does that say about your tennis reign? Were you natural? Were you truly natural when you played tennis and won all those matches? You just have to wonder and think. But I would say for your weight loss, try not to do those injections. I know losing weight look good if that's what you want to do, if that's what you want to do, but try to do it the healthy way. Try to do it the healthy way. I just know so many people who are getting things removed because of it or getting bad side effects. So be careful, guys. Everything that glitters is not gold. Everything that glitters is not gold. You guys have to definitely be careful. Be careful what you put in your body. Be careful. I know people will say food too, but be careful. If you want to lose weight, do it the natural way. I'm not judging anyone, but do it the natural way. What's wrong with natural things? Everyone wants to rush. I know someone who's getting evicted from an apartment, or they got evicted. And I was talking to the person and I told them, oh, go get like a job or any job. Do any job so that you can stay in your apartment. Do any job so that you can get yourself on your feet. You know what that person told me? That they don't want to start out on a low job. They don't want to work at McDonald's. They don't want to work at Wendy's, or they do not want to work at Burger King. And it's like, does that make sense? You're like falling on your face and you don't want to work at Burger King or McDonald's or Wendy's. You know? You have to do the right thing. We all have to climb the ladder. No one ends up on top right away. Like, where do you see it in society that you're ending up on top? You're ending up here without walking up those steps or walking up the ladder, you know? So if you need help, guys, please, you have to go. Be a go-getter, be ambitious. If you are getting evicted from an apartment, you have to work any odd job to get money. If you don't have money, you have to work. If you have to work at McDonald's, you have to. I mean, that's a job. Until you get yourself back on your feet, you do have to take odd job. But some people just, they want to be at the top. That's why I state, don't compare yourself to others. People should stop comparing. And that's what's wrong with the world. People are comparing themselves to others, and they're ending up in places that they don't want. Like, they're killing themselves to lose weight. They're killing themselves to get surgeries. They're killing themselves to, for employment. They're saying they're above starting from the bottom, but no one started at the top. Everyone have to start from the bottom. You know, we all started from the bottom. Why is this like this? So we all started from the bottom, We all started from the bottom somewhere. So we all started from the bottom, guys. So if you are getting kicked out of an apartment, evicted, and you have no job, you're saying you won't try to get a McDonald's job? Now that's odd. So if you started from the bottom, we all started from the bottom, guys. We all started from the bottom, you know? Hi, Addie. How are you? We all started from the bottom, guys. If you're getting evicted, start from the bottom. Go pick up some cans or go to McDonald's. Do anything. Hi, Fadeaway. I said Addie. I'm sorry. Fade away. I just saw Addie, which is an African name, but it said fade away. You know? So, we all start from the bottom sometimes, No one starts at the top. You can't compare yourself to others, and, try to live your life for you. Just because you didn't become whatever you want to be at 20, it doesn't mean you can't become it at 30 or 40 or 50. As long as your life is going, as long as you're living on earth, you can be whatever you want to be, you know? You can be whatever you want to be, no matter what. You just have to believe in yourself. You can't have other people tell you what you can and cannot do. Don't listen to others. You have to be your own motivation. You have to look into yourself. If you have kids, you have to push them and raise them to try to help them to have a positive mind and be better, you know? They said a lot of men in these times, they're acting like a woman have to be their mother. So you have to treat your boys not to be that way when they grow up, you know? You just have to be better, have to push yourself. Sometimes we have to do that. We have to push ourselves to become better. There's no one that's going to fight for us. No one. Everyone is struggling, Guys, you look at the US as glamorous, but there's so many struggling people. I'm not laughing at that. I'm just saying that you'll be amazed at how many people who are getting evicted from an apartment or they can't make ends meet. Now, okay, so in October, guys, the SNAP benefits, it was closed, correct? I went in the grocery store in October. the first of the month, because that's when the people with SNAP benefits are like they overcrowd the store. I guess that's when they issue it. Now, I went in October and the aisles were empty. No, I went into the store yesterday and it was packed. And when I was checking out, there was a girl. She was dressed to the T. Her face had makeup, high heels. It was Sunday. She must have been coming home from church. And then what did I see her pull out? Her food stamps card. So the stores were crowded and I'm like, wow. So people really don't shop with their own money. They wait for food stamps. And I normally shop online. I don't shop in the stores because they're so crowded. And it's better for me to order certain things. Fruits and vegetables, I like to shop, go in the store, look at it and touch it. But um, online, that I'll do. I'll do other things online, but fruits and vegetables, I'll go in the store. But the amount of people that were in the store yesterday, so you could tell that the SNAP benefits were open. So I guess America is right. Like, there's a lot of people that depend on these benefits, you know? There's a lot of people that won't shop for food. I mean, they do have to shop for food, but I guess they budget if they don't have it. And it's weird because someone like me, I don't qualify for it, you know? So I go shopping anytime. I don't qualify. But I was talking about how some people really need it, but it's sad when some people are dependent on it because I'm not saying based on the outside, the girl that I saw dressed to the T with makeup, name brand bag, name brand shoes, and then she just pulled out her food stamps. You know, if you have the means to shop name brand, then why can't you spend money on your food? So you rather name brands over your stomach? That's weird. Hi, Firefly. Now, I just think it's really weird that people will choose a name brand shoes and bag over food. So I guess, you have to balance with life. Those type of people are probably using the system and they're getting away with it. So, you know, people like me have to, I wouldn't say I'm suffering because I do like to work, but people like the middle class have to suffer. Thank you so much. Definitely a woman at work. Definitely a woman of worth, you know? And guys, I am here to talk. That's why I'm here. It's called live because I'm talking. When I'm doing any action or anything, then you can talk. I feel like when people say I'm talking too much, people try to really limit you for who you are. And so that's my life. I have people who don't accept me for who I am. Like, they want me to be who they want me to be, like the people in my personal life. They don't accept me for who I am. And I get sick of that because I'm in my 40s, which is fine. I am who I am. Like, they'll say I'm too bougie, I'm this and that. I am not bougie. I'm just a certain way. I like my life a certain way. I like to talk a certain way. I like to eat a certain way. I don't like certain behaviors around me. I like a peaceful life and I like peace. But people will come into your life, guys, and they will bring a lot of chaos. And they don't know they are bringing chaos because they're just chaotic people. So I feel like if you don't know yourself, so earlier I was talking about with my friend about people who they're older, but they're not, what's the word? Their age is older, but they're mentally not mature. And they call these type of people adult child. Like, they're mentally not mature. And so we need to stop labeling things on age, like say, oh, at 40 something a woman shouldn't be accepting doing certain things. Like, say I know someone who accepts something from a guy who she's not with. So if you're not with a guy and he's with another person, why would you accept a gift from him, To me, it's unacceptable because I watch a lot of Fatal Attraction where people have mental temperaments. Like, their egos can be bruise or crush and they do something crazy to you. It's just too much drama to be anyone's other woman at a certain age. Like, say, in your 30s and 40s, you should have learned from your 20s not to be someone's other woman, you know? So I would not accept a gift from a guy I'm not with because I don't want any attachment to that person, or I don't want them to think they have a way in if I'm not in a relationship. Now, these things I think females should have learned from their in their early 20s to mid 20s and at in their later years, 28, 30, 40. You should not be making those same mistakes, you know? You should not. You should have discernment about the type of things you do and the type of men that you bring into your life. But I it's not just the females, it's the men too, because a man that's married should never be giving a woman an expensive gift. You know, how are you treating your wife? You know, how are you treating your wife? What does that say about the way you perceive your wife? That's sick. And you know, if he's doing it to one person, he's doing it to other people. Like, it's not just me. If I'm saying me as an example, it's not just me. He probably have a bunch of people. I think in 2025, the drama, the side chick, a lot they glorify it on in the internet. It's not cool because of people's mental temperament, too much drama. People have families involved. Um, it's just too much. I would not, if I was ever to be single, that would not be me because I would not insert myself to be anyone's side chick. Um, and I wouldn't want anybody to be my side man. I just don't like drama when it comes to relationship because people do crazy things and there's so many fishes in the sea. You don't have to be that. You don't have to be a side person. Have self-worth. If you're single, it's okay to work for yourself and buy nice things for yourself. But you know, if you know for sure that you don't like a guy, you don't see anything with him, don't accept gift because those men will they that's a form of control. Like, they're giving you the gift so that, like, oh, you're my property now. Like, no, they're just trying to wean their way in. And of course not. If you're a woman of morals and values, you would not accept that gift, you know? You would not, you know? There's just too many people who want like material things that will sell their souls for it. And when you see those Instagram models, like, you see them with they all have name brand stuff. They go on these expensive vacations. And I'm not saying you can't spend on yourself or do well, but to accept these gifts from people who are already taken is just, why are you doing that? You know? Thank you so much, Silk. Why are you thank you. I appreciate it. You know, why are you taking things from a guy just because? What are they taking it for? They're taking it to show off to other people, maybe to their friends or family, like they came from a family background that they're not so proud of. So they feel like now a lot of people um they attach their self-worth to material items. It's just a material item. You know, if I buy like a Louis Vuitton bag or something, I don't feel any different. It doesn't make me feel like I'm up there. Like, no, I feel like the same down to earth Carla, even though people call me bougie. I don't feel it. But if you can buy it for yourself, it's okay. I don't knock that. I don't knock people getting things for themselves with their own money. My thing is, don't use somebody, a guy or a girl, to show off online, you know. And there's people who have people getting it for them. Like, you think you don't know they're getting it for free because they have people getting it from the store and they're paying less for it. So you have to be careful, guys, who you look up to on the internet. You don't know these people, you don't know these celebrities, you know, don't glorify their lives because you don't know what they do to get the things that they do. And that's what I would like to say to the little boys and the little girls coming up at a certain age, 40s, 30s. We should know that, but it seems like the world is so lost. They're obsessed with taking pictures and, posting and showing off, which is fine. It is fine. I'm not saying that everyone shows off, but just don't use people or take advantage of people to get those items, because karma comes back. It comes back at you. If you have children, the karma will follow your kids. You have to be careful, think of the consequences of your actions. So that's pretty much what I was talking about. Adult kids, there's a lot of adults who are in their 30s and 40s who mentally they're not there. Mentally they're not there, you know? And guys, also, I would like for you guys, if you're listening, to be careful of the friends you keep, and make sure that the friendships that you have, they're two-way friendships, they're not one way, you know? Because there are people who just use you, like you don't hear from them, they don't call you. They only call you when they need something. You could be dying and they would not know if they won't know. They'll probably see it under the news. So be careful of who you consider your friend. I'm not saying a friend should, you don't have to talk to a friend every day, because of course we're all busy and we're all, we have our lives, we have our kids. But if someone who says they're your friend and you don't hear from them for 3 to 4 months, that's not a friend, that's an associate. Don't ever call someone who does not check on you, like on a weekly basis, maybe 2 weeks, a friend. For someone who knows nothing about what's happening in your life, they don't know anything about your ups and downs. Those people are not friends. Like, they don't like you. They just need you in their life for something. So they keep you around, you know? Silk, you're only 24 years old. Okay. Material things, people don't find happiness, but a lot of people, they value their worth based on material items. Like, they have to have the latest material item. That's how they feel confident. It boosts their ego. So I know people like that are at an older age. They're not young and they have those personality traits. And I feel those are people who came from like humble beginnings and now they're like they've elevated themselves, which is fine. But I also know people who are like millionaires who will never buy a Louis Vuitton. They don't buy those material items, they're not like that because maybe they weren't like that from the beginning. They're just professionals that have money, that work hard. But I think that it's okay that if you buy yourself and treat it to yourself, or if you get a gift, I just don't feel like you should use others to get it. But there's a lot of people that are using others. There's a lot of people out there that are using others. People are being used left and right. So it's just hard to say. There's barely any genuine people left on this earth. I'm not saying you guys are not genuine, but people are not genuine. They pretty much just use each other, and it's very sad. Thank you so much, Firefly. I just feel like people need to learn how to be more genuine. Learn to treat others, I would say, how you would like to be treated. Don't talk down to someone because they're different from you. Don't, if someone looks differently, talk differently. And that's how I'm raising my kids. I love that my kids, they're free spirited. They talk to anyone. They don't think they're better than others. A lot of people, they treat their kids like they're better than other kids. Like, that's crazy. Like, you should teach your children to be humble, because they will get disappointed as they grow older. Because, and I'm talking about people that's not even on, people that's maybe middle class. It's okay. People are proud of themselves. I'm not saying for you to be, thank you so much, Silk. I'm not saying for you not to be proud of yourself. I'm just saying you have to be very humble. Be very humble with your things. Be very humble. I'm sure you can be successful. You can achieve great things, but be humble. You use your success and your skill to help others, you know, to help others advance or teach others how to get there, but don't ever be so egotistical that you cannot help another person. Don't show off. Be very humble and don't use others. Treat people how you'd like to be treated. And that's how I operate on a general. I don't use others. I don't think it's right. And, because I don't like being used. So I don't use others. I try to check up on the people who are very important to me, and I try to not use them. It's not good. I cut people off that I feel like they're not nice or they use me, but it's weird. People they just wean their way back in, because no one is ever too busy to check up on you. No one is ever too busy to see how you're doing or how you're. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, so what I was saying was peace and drama, yes. People don't realize that the best way in life is peace. Like, they love drama, they get fueled by drama, but drama is not good. And when people try to insert me in their drama, I just stay away from it, because it's so good to have a peaceful life. It's so good, guys, to have a peaceful life. Just have a zen life. There's no need for drama. Try to get along with everyone. Everyone is going through something, you know. You look at me, I look at you. We all look good on the outside, but everyone is going through something, or they have a family member that's going through something, that they have to be strong and they have to help their family members, or they have to be there. So Just treat others how you'd like to be treated and try to live life peaceful. You know, that's my advice for the day. Treat others how you'd like to be treated. Um, Hi, Christopher. How are you? Treat life how you treat others how you'd like to be treated, you know? So when we elevate, we have to help others elevate and rise with us. Like we say, it's a generational thing. You have to build generational wealth. Bring your generation with you. I feel like family members, especially black families, we're so big, but instead of us working together, we work apart, you know? We have very successful. Yes, guys, sorry about that. I keep getting phone calls. Yes, guys, sorry about that. I keep getting phone calls. Now, yeah, it's very cold in my state, very rainy. Sometimes we feel like we could just get away and run away, but our kids are in school and we're here. We can't do anything. We have to just stay. Right now, I'm waiting tutor in session, so I'm in the car. And I can tutor my own kids if they listen because I'm a very bright girl. The word we can learn together because a lot of the things that they're learning in school, when I do their homeworks with them, I forgot most of it, but then I pick it back up. But if you sit with your child and work with them, so my son is doing math, and then later I'll do his writing and reading, and then practicing his words, spelling. With kids, all you have to do is 20 minutes per day. Kids do not like to work or learn at home because home is their comfort. They just like to sit and relax and play games, because home is definitely their comfort, you know? Hi, Larry Lamar. How are you? How are you doing? Where are you located again? Are you in Alabama? I'm trying to remember. Alabama. It must be nice in Alabama, warm. It's so cold where I am. It's very cold. This weather is not for me. I'm just hoping for the year to just hurry up so that we can have summer again, which is a bad thing. Oh, you're in Clearwater, Florida. So it must be very nice down there, very warm. It's so cold up north. I would love to take a trip to Florida right now, like a short trip, just to be in the warm because it's so cold and the flight to Florida is what, 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours away. It's not that bad. And it's a straight flight from my state. So I've never been to Clearwater. I've been to Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Orlando. That's it. I know Florida is big and have a lot of different state. I'm sorry, a lot of different towns or cities. So it's weird that I've only been to those three. That's crazy. I need to visit other places in Florida now. So that's my mission. I have to visit other Florida towns. I think I've been in Ocala, Florida as well. I've been in Ocala because I have family there. But I just go the main parts, Tampa. Um, why did I say Tampa? I have not been to Tampa. So I've been to Orlando, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Ocala. It's 59 degrees in Florida. That's pretty cold. It's just weird. Florida is getting cold. I did not know Florida get cold in the winter. I've been down there plenty winters and it's hot, so Clearwater must be by the water. So I understand, but yesterday was 80 and today is 59 degrees. Wow, that's just a change. It's just weird how the temperature from one day to the next, it goes from here to there. You know, it's just unbelievable. It's just wet and rainy and dark at 6:20. Oh my God, Larry, you need to come up north. Take a trip to New York. Have you ever been to New York? It's probably a good thing that you've never seen the snow, but how do you love the cold, but you're in Florida? That doesn't, there's a disconnection there because Florida is hot, but I guess you like when it cools down a bit. I understand that. I don't like when it's humid or too hot. I was in Florida in the summer. I went to Orlando to Disney, and Florida is so expensive. Why are the parks so expensive? I don't get the hype, so I probably will not be back to Disney. Disney will not see me again because I don't understand why it's so expensive to go into an amusement park. And I've been to Disney 3 times so far. What do I think about Kanye West? I haven't heard anything about him lately. He's been off the radar. But yeah, the parks in Florida are just too expensive, but I guess they need to charge so much so that they can, keep the park running and keep it good. I do love Disney, Magic Kingdom. We also went to um which one? I forgot the name of the park because it was in August. I can't remember. But I've been to those parks. There's one park that I need to go to. It's the new one, so we'll probably take a trip for that part, but not for Magic Kingdom. I forgot the name of the new park too because it's, I forget stuff like that because it doesn't interest me. It interests my boys. I just do it because of them because I like fairs. I don't like amusement parks so much. I like going to fairs to eat the food, but amusement parks, I don't want to be on those rides. That's not fun. If it's like a relaxing ride, maybe, but not the rides that twist you up and down all around town. No, I don't like that. I don't feel like there's a point. I'm not driving, hon. Where do you see that I'm driving? I'm sitting in a parking lot. If I was driving, my hand would be on the wheels. My car is not even on. I understand talking while driving is dangerous, but I don't do it. I don't like to do it. You're right. It's very dangerous to go on live and talk. I don't know how people do it. And I will not do it again because I get distracted easily and I need to stay super focused. So I won't drive and go on live anymore, guys. Sorry. I love talking to you guys, but I will not do it because it's, to me, I feel like it's dangerous. I don't know how the influencers or the vloggers do it, but I can't do it. Mm-mm. I can't. I can't. I have an issue with multitasking. I get distracted very easily, which is crazy. I think most adults have ADD or ADHD undiagnosed because I get distracted very quickly. Oh my God. Why would you watch a TikTok? Is the pedestrian okay? Oh my goodness. I don't watch things while driving on my phone. I talk, but I don't watch my phone. I learned that long time ago not to text and drive or look at the phone while driving. Talking I can do, but not live. Like because my phone is connected to my car. So if I'm on a phone call, yes, I can do. But being on live where you guys are commenting, I can't do that because it's forcing me to look on the comment and the phone is right there. So I have to move the phone. Um, So pretty much, yeah, I can't do live and drive. I can't do it because I have to stay super focused. Driving at this age gives me anxiety. I used to love driving, but I can't do it. The cars are just too crazy. The drivers are too crazy on a local road. They like to go very fast. They switch you, they try to push you off the road on a local road. So people are crazy drivers, you know. They said during the pandemic, a lot of the New Yorkers moved to my state. And I'm like, maybe that's why people are driving so crazy. But I try not to drive very far if I don't have to. I just drive in town, and in town, really have no traffic, you know. No one wants to come here. It's pretty boring. So that is pretty much how it works. Some people, they just drive really crazy. They have no consideration for if there's a child in your car, or if, you know, there's an elderly person. They just drive crazy. They do, they race on regular roads. It's just, some people, their license need to be taken away because those things could cause people to really, you know, pass away and stuff like that. But I'm happy she's okay. But you have to be careful not to talk on your phone or look on your, not look on your phone. If you're talking, make sure it's connected to the car. I don't talk that much, you know. I don't really talk. I'm on live. What am I? I'm supposed to talk, guys. I do. That's what life is about. We're supposed to talk and have conversations. We're talking about life. I do like to talk a lot. I do. I'm a Gemini, so we talk a lot. That's what Geminis do. They said we're communicators. That's our zodiac. We're meant to communicate. So I do have friends who can keep up with my talking, but I'm a Gemini. We like to talk. We like to talk about different things. We like to know things. So we like to communicate. We like to connect to people. We like to know, you know? Wow, you're a Gemini too. You're a June Gemini. I'm a May Gemini, not a June. But give me 1 second, guys. Okay, guys. Oh gosh, it's so cold. It's freezing. I have no right to this music. Please don't give me a stop. Okay, guys, thank you for chatting with me. It was very nice talking to you guys, even though people are saying I talk too much. I do talk a lot. That's how I am in real life. That's how I am over live. I do talk a lot. I know I do. So I'm happy for you guys who came on to talk to me and whoever enjoyed talking to me. So, if you don't like me talking a lot, you don't have to come into the live. But that's how I am. I just talk a lot. If we had live videos, we could have been chatting together, but the live is just me talking. But I do appreciate you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's okay, SZA. Is that your name, SZA? It's okay. I'm fine. I don't take things serious, but I do know I talk a lot, so I was not offended, and it's just part of my who I am. So I'm not offended when people say that because I know who I am and I don't take things too personal. That's just not me. I don't take things personal. And I feel like you have to communicate in life. You have to talk. You have to let out your feelings. Some people talk, some people don't. So some people internalize. I feel like it's great to talk and express yourself. You know, it sets you free. Talk and have conversation with people. There's people who need to talk, who need people to talk to them. They need to hear others. It is what it is. But we have to go. Remember, you said not to talk and drive. I have to drive now. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I'll probably try to come on a little bit earlier. I'll probably schedule the live because tomorrow I have off. So I'll have a lot of time to chat. My kids have school, so I'll be free to talk tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a great night. If I don't know where you're located, if it's great morning, have a great morning, have a great night, and enjoy your day. And tomorrow I'll be on to talk some more. Um, Right. Thank you so much, Silk. You're very young, but you're very wise. So thank you so much. Um, yeah, I'm in my car today because it's wet and it's raining. And, it gets so dark so quick. By the time I leave work, it's already dark. It gets dark at 4:30 p.m. And that's by the time, most of us work 9 to 5. Here, look at the weather. It's so dark. You guys can see all around me how dark it is. So pretty much I can't walk unless I get up very early. No, I'm not monetized yet. So you guys can help me by liking my live or telling people, but I will get monetized when I get serious. So no, we're not at that point yet, but thank you guys for following me and being loyal subscribers. But I love talking to you guys. I love talking to people. That's just me, guys. I love talking. So if you guys are able to be there to keep me company, I really appreciate it. I like that. I like to talk to people. You guys can teach me, I can teach you. So have a good night. Hopefully tomorrow I'm actually walking. It's cold here now, so I try to just walk at home on my treadmill. But have a good night, peace, and tomorrow we'll be on and I'll talk to you. And hopefully we can get my followers up and get me monetized. Have a great night. Bye, guys. Have a good night.